Welcome to the Instigators with Paulie D and Chris Kotsopoulos.
Oh, here we go.
That's a bunch of garbage, and it's being proven right now.
Oh, absolutely. I was a staunch defender of that.
You know, if he doesn't stand on his head in the second period, we don't have a chance.
What a save by Lundqvist. Henrik! Why not? That's the chance, and that's the reason why.
Fans are really, really knowledgeable on that, and I'm very impressed with that. That's anybody else but Alex Ovechkin. That's an automatic suspension.
With this specific player, if he doesn't get 10 games or more, it's a disgrace in the face of the NHL.
Welcome to the Instigators with Paulie D
We
and
like
Chris
to call
Kotsopoulos.
the Instigators Hockey Show. 15 years. We missed you last week there, big boy. The big Greek
I had a fight with the computer. The computer
had some technical issues. He was ready to drop the gloves. Very angry, very angry. But we did have some fun. Below me, right here, is Matty the Mailman Lips. Probably got to get rid of the number 10 behind him.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. No.
And the lower,
Change the letters to Duguay.
in the lower right-hand corner, we have Ricky Duggan from Hockey World Order. And, of course, my good buddy and co-host of the program, Chris Crazy Kotsopoulos, who has a hell of a time with technology. So, the number one defenseman on this team. All right.
No movement clause.
Technology, but anyhow.
Hey,
I want Kotze with a no movement clause.
hey, I just want to say,
Listen, if I'm in charge, nobody gets a no movement clause, period.
I just want to say I've tried a new rye today. It's very good. I won't speak it out, but I will show it on here. We haven't had a legitimate, how could you say, sponsor with them, but I will say it's a great rye. So here we go in my New York Rangers cup. Little ice ball there. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. I think, Ricky, you're right. I think we're going to start with the situation with McKinnon. This is not good news. This is not good news.
Yeah. Gavin McKenna.
I mean, these are some serious charges. First-degree felony, battery, 2 misdemeanors for what do you call
Assault.
Yes, thank you very much. You know, the felony alone looks to hold almost 20 years. Obviously, this is just, you know,
He's not gotten 20 years. Come on.
I'm just telling you, that's what's listed. I've read the whole article.
I have the list of charges
And if
here,
you
guys.
jaywalk, you can get arrested too. You know?
Understood. I totally
Hold on,
understand.
let me put on my old man glasses. Hold on. We have
Here's
the charges: first-degree felony assault, misdemeanor, simple assault, 2 counts of disorderly conduct.
Yep.
Potential penalties under the state of Pennsylvania law. Felony aggravated assault carries a maximum penalty of 20 years and a $25,000 fine. More than likely, it will be a suspended sentence if found guilty. I think, honestly, if Maddie, tell the story. Let's go into the story first. Tell the
All
story.
right,
What happened?
so everything's getting floated around here. Rumor has it Gavin McKenna was at a bar and there was a guy that was basically running his mouth to about Gavin McKenna's mother, calling her a whore, calling her all sorts of things. The bouncer in the club did not heard it, didn't like it, and whatnot like that. And Gavin McKenna took it into his own hands, literally, and knocked the dude. I don't know if it was one punch or multiple punches, but he broke the guy's jaw, knocked his teeth out, and guy's in the hospital. I think he's unconscious, last I read. So Yeah, a lot of damage right there done. And I mean, he's going to be a multi-millionaire one day. Sometimes cooler heads prevail, but you push the mom button, somebody calls out your mama, that sends guys into a different reach. Trust me,
I think I accidentally kicked Ricky out of the show. So we'll try to get Ricky back. So
Ricky, where are you? Listen, I live in Pennsylvania and stuff like that. It's a liberal state, so if McKenna wants to get off, just claim he's an illegal immigrant. He'll get off, no problem.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Rick.
Well, listen, I got to say one thing about the situation. I like the fact that the kids showed some balls. If anybody called my mother a hooer, I'd break their jaw too, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
And they wouldn't. I don't know if I probably would have finished the job at that point.
In today's America, I'll be honest with you. Today's America, I think the kid just gained some points in my book by showing he's a real man and defending his mother.
I agree. I love it.
I agree.
Now, getting back to McKenna for a minute.
That stuff happened all the time with players back in the day, getting fights in bars and stuff.
Oh, of course. Hey, listen.
Yeah, but you didn't have social media now.
Go back from the mid 70s to when I started in the late 70s to all the way up to 1990. Can you name me anybody who really got arrested for fighting in bars? No.
Cutsy, I remember a story that I was involved in with a New York Islander by the name of Mick the Dick Vakota. When he got a penalty at MSG, and I leaned over the glass and told him his father was a gerbil, and he threw a water bottle at me and spit in my girlfriend's face and tried to climb the glass to get at me. People don't realize what an intense sport hockey was for fans back in the 70s, 80s, even the early 90s. The shit that you guys got said to you, thrown at you, said to you on the street. I ripped Billy Smith's wig off, man. I mean, come on. Nowadays, these fucking people are such sissies that it's unbelievable, But I think the kid's gonna get cleared of something. I think somebody's gonna if they really talked about his mom like that, I think it'll just worst case scenario is a suspended sentence and he has to do some anger management.
I think honestly, when I look back, think about it though, like I don't see very many hockey players that are groomed today that would act like that, Ricky. So I do give the kid a little credit for defending his mother. Is he going to get in a little bit of trouble? Probably. But the bottom line is like put yourself in his position.
Absolutely.
Anybody's going to say that kind of crap about anybody in your family that you're close to, you're going to get it. That's all there is to it.
Listen, I'll tell a little story to the panel real quick, right? I am the youngest of four. I have 3 older sisters. My sisters are 9, 8 years older than me. And there was a situation when I was younger. I was a little kid. I was like 9 or 10 years old, where something happened to one of my sisters, and I wasn't grown enough to defend them. And to this day, it still eats away at me because had I been 16, 17, 18 years old, more grown than a 10-year-old boy, I would have taken the situation into my own hands. And so I applaud Gavin McKenna for sticking up for family. You get one mother in this world and you defend her like a real man. At the same time, there should be some kind of punishment. Now, what that is, he's got a squeaky clean record from what I can tell. He's should get us more or less a slap on the wrist, maybe pay a fine, maybe pay the kids' hospital bills and a little extra or something like that. Jail time should absolutely not happen, just in my opinion. So that's just me.
Well, I mean, we could all have opinions. They're a lot like assholes. Everybody has one. But I hate to say this, man. Especially in that state, a little tougher on like some of those criminal type of, some of that behavior. So I don't know that it's going to be just a slap on the wrist. We all should hope so. But I don't know. From what I understand, that charge, what was that first assault charge?
Aggravated assault, I think.
Yeah, but what is it? It's battery.
First degree aggravated assault.
Yeah.
First degree aggravated assault.
Okay, but it says with some type of intention. So you got to look at that because that's a little bit different. That's an additive. There's an added part to that assault. And then 2 misdemeanors of batteries. So he didn't just beat this kid up, man. He bludgeoned him.
Oh no, there's no. The police report does not say anything other than first degree felony assault, aggravated assault. and then a misdemeanor of a simple assault.
Paulie, but if you're going to fight somebody, what are you fighting? A half-assed or a full-assed? Which one are you doing?
I get it. Listen,
I mean?
I'm on your team, man. I mean, I get it. I'm on your
listen, it's a bad situation, and my prediction is this: they'll either make an example out of them, or somehow it'll just go away. There won't be an in-between on this one.
Yeah.
Listen, do you really think it'd be good for the sport of hockey if Gavin McKenna doesn't play in the NHL at all?
No.
There are talks that he's slid down to number 4, but he's been a hype prospect for a couple of years now. Yeah. And he's probably more hyped than either Schaefer or Misa last year. People have been talking about this draft class for a long time. Do you really think the NHL would just not have him play? There's going to be something. There's going to be something.
We allowed rapists back in the NHL.
Here you go, guys.
I mean, yeah.
First felony aggravated assault, which is defined as attempts to cause serious bodily injury and causing injury with extreme indifference.
But see, that's all mumbo jumbo to me. If you're in a fight, I didn't intend to hit you, or did I intend to hit you?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the charge isn't as light as you think it may be. It's not a simple assault. It's one of the highest forms of assault.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Well, listen. I'm a 4th dan black belt in Taekwondo, right? Doesn't mean much. But if I were to just punch somebody in the face, technically it's assault with the battery because your hands and feet are trained, not to the point of a UFC fighter or a boxer, but that kind of stuff happens.
Wait, so you're a mailman and a fucking UFC fighter? You are
not a UFC fighter, Taekwondo.
You are definitely destined to be that going postal guy.
Oh yeah, no. That's why nobody talks to me on my route.
I'd like to share an image with the group. I'd like you to show you Gavin's mother. I found a picture of her.
You motherfucker, man.
That's his mom. She does not look like a hooer to me, and I'm glad he broke the guy's jaw.
Good. She looks like
a very nice woman. I wish her nothing but the best, and I'm sorry that those scummy people in Pennsylvania did that to her.
Yeah, it would never happen in Canada. They're too nice, right, Kotze?
Kotze would have beat the shit out of him if he was there.
I'll tell a quick story. Hey, Matty, I fought a guy with a brown belt in the streets one night. You know what? I grabbed him by his hair, smashed his head off the car bumper, and it was over.
Yeah, Kotze, yeah.
I got up and I said, "Where's your brown belt now?"
There you go. Kotze for GM. Get that. We need that attitude on the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
All right. Let's get back on track.
My friends had to get me off him. That's how bad I was going to kill him.
We definitely digress.
Well, we started off with a shitty story. Think about it.
But you and Miko Makalo were friends the next day.
Oh, my God. All right.
Segue.
Let's go. I want to go into a little bit of the first, I want to talk about this because it's old, but we haven't been able to talk about it. The Stadium Series in Tampa here. Believe it or not, guys, I didn't go. But we'll talk about that later.
Oh, what were the freebies all gone?
No, I didn't. Honestly, I just didn't want it.
It was cold for Florida, 40 degrees.
That's right. Paulie would have to buy a winter jacket.
Hey, did you see John Cooper dressed as Tony Montana?
Yeah, that was pretty cool, huh? But I do want to say this. I don't have the stats in front of me. I'll pull them up. But Kotz, before the show started, we talked about how when you played hockey, you couldn't bet on hockey. You couldn't bet.
Nope.
I got a feeling.
We couldn't bet on anything.
I got a feeling that professional betting is really it's something to talk about, especially in the NHL. First of all, the goalie fight, which was great, very entertaining. Looked a little staged to me, but
a little scripted. It was a WWE show.
Yeah,
the odds were in Vegas on a goaltender fight before.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. I mean, I'm sorry, Kotze, you played the game for a long time. I've watched a lot of hockey. I'm sure there's a lot of hockey watched on this panel. When you get to a Stadium Series like this and you have the show that you have, I mean, do you really think that the penalties that it was so lopsided on the penalties where one team receives, 10 power plays and the other one receives 4 or 5? I just feel like on the 5-on-3s and just a lot to be said about how this game is being officiated when it comes to now sports betting. And this game, I just felt like this was a very favored game towards one of the teams. It was lopsided the whole way, and then all of a sudden, power play after power play after power play after power play. I mean, is that not letting a team back in? And you can't tell me that one team has that many more infractions than another.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this Tampa's first outdoor game?
First one. Yep.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, it's 5-1, and Boston's kicking the absolute crap out of them. Okay? Now, there's no proof, obviously. We're not going to be able to prove this, but one can insinuate that the call came down and said, look, we're losing people watching this game. We've been building this thing up for ever, publicly, nationally, all this stuff. Make a few little calls here to get Tampa back in the game. I mean, I watched it. It was bullshit. The 5-on-3s you're talking about. I mean, like we're talking, you couldn't even break a pane of glass with the stick work that they were calling.
Right.
How bad it was.
Well, it's been mentioned many times on this show, guys. This has been the most inconsistent year of refereeing I've ever watched.
But Ricky, it's been this way ever since they changed the stupid rules. Remember the obstruction rule? How hard they came down on that?
Yep.
Now everybody obstructs everybody. There's no calls anymore.
Well, what happened to embellishment also?
Well,
yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Paulie and I used to talk about that all the time. It can't, to me, Ricky, it can't be both. Just my opinion. You either held me or you didn't hold me. Don't call me for embellishing.
Did you see Celebrini?
You held me.
Did you see Celebrini telling the referee he never got my face? Don't call a penalty.
Yeah. The league deserves the ridicule it gets when it comes to the games like this and the penalty calls. We see it every night when we watch it. There's just some horseshit calls. Period.
Well, there's a little news on this when you're done.
They deserve the ridicule, period, because they changed the rules. They tried to make the game faster. They tried to make the game more goal scoring. That's what they try to do. And then you got guys in the front office there going, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll have to put that one in next year. Like, Colin Campbell. Right. Give me a break.
Well, there's some news on that subject, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I listened to what's his name on WFAN, the guy who got caught gambling. Colin, what's his name? The one who used to be with Boomer.
Yeah, I can't.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He did a show yesterday that the major gambling sites have now put a limit. Craig Carton. They've put a limit on prop bets that players can determine themselves. So, in other words, he made a great point. Baseball has been getting busted the most by pitchers and stuff like that. There was bets on major gambling sites that, let's say Paulie D was the starting pitcher for the Mets tonight. I can go put $50,000 that the first pitch of the game is a ball. And Paulie could have went to 25 of his friends around the place and said, hey, I'm throwing a pitch high and tight tonight on the first pitch. And they're going to all go bet a ball. And they all win double their money. Even if it was 1-to-1, even if it was 50,000, you win 20,000 back. You're guaranteed the bet.
Yeah.
Things like player shots have now all of a sudden gone. I bet that all the time. You want to know, you want to win money every night, you bet Jason Zucker from the Buffalo Sabres +3 shots a night. He has covered it 9 straight games. I just keep winning money. And I don't talk to him. I have no, relationship with the guy, but I just follow stats. That now is up to, he has to break like 5 now for you to win money. They have caught on to some of these prop bets and they're trying to eliminate it. But the worst thing is, you are watching the game. Say the Rangers are just using a term. We're down 3 and they score a goal in the second period. Before they give you the player who scored the freaking goal, they show you updated odds. Now the Rangers are +275 before the goal replay is even played. Gary Bettman created this monster. He was the first one. He was ahead of the NFL and the NBA on this gambling shit. And it's going to blow up in their faces bad.
It's just hypocritical, Ricky. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Paul Hornung and Alex Karras got suspended for a whole year in the 1960s for betting on an NFL game. Now you're talking about baseball. How about all the basketball players in the college that have been getting caught lately? You know, gambling has always been associated with criminal element. Period. End of story.
Yep.
Horse racing to boxing. Now you've given the four major sports. You know.
Well, listen,
green light, baby. You can bet now on these things where they used to just harp on us. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do this. But now they're getting millions in from it, and they don't care if it looks suspicious or not.
I'll be devil's advocate on this a little bit. Okay, hockey is the hardest sport to rig.
It is. I agree with that. By
far,
it is.
But the prop bets on hockey. You see shots on goal. Let's just say a team has 23 shots on goal at the end of the second. You'll start the third period, and all of a sudden they have 19. And you're like, how did that happen?
Did you hear Kenny Albert explain that? But Kenny Albert touched on that a couple of weeks ago when he said, well, you know, in between periods, ever since gambling has become such a big thing on the National Hockey League, we have people who review the shots on goal and the people who took them.
Yeah.
And he had to actually interrupt the broadcast to explain that.
Really? I didn't know that.
Now, I'm going to tell you the other night, right? I had a 6-way parlay. Simple $10 on shots on net. I was 5 for 5. I had Will Cooley needing 3 shots on goal, and I would have won $3,700. That's how well it would have paid. He ended up with 2. I went back and watched the entire game looking for a shot they missed. They didn't miss it. I'm just saying. It's like you said, it's absolutely the hardest game in the world to fix, Matty.
Yeah, Paulie and I have discussed it. Matt, you're right, dead on. You have to have the only way you can fix a hockey game, you got to buy the goaltender. I've always said that. The goaltender has to be bought. He has to let him in or not let him in. Which
Jonathan
one?
Quick. Jonathan Quick.
But I'm just telling you. But the referee can also influence a game too, like it did the other night against Boston. Parade of penalties to the penalty box. Sooner or later, that team's going to score.
Yeah,
you know,
it's helpful for sure.
I mean, like I said, I think hockey's very hard to rig, but the officials definitely. You see a lot of the inconsistent calls in this league. You see it time and time again, inconsistency, and you know, how do you get 4 straight minutes on 5-on-3?
Yeah,
and you didn't even score the first 5.
Never mind that game, Matty. Let's talk about the one that I flipped out and was texting you 500 miles a minute about. Rangers Islanders take 3 minor penalties. 1 was a penalty. Carrick's first cross check was a penalty. The other 2 were marginal. But how do you let 4 New York Islanders jump 1 New York Ranger, take him to the ground by his head, and punch him in the head 3 times, and there's not a call?
McLean was the first guy to jump on him. Ricky jumped about 9 feet in the air and jumped on his back, and he was the first one from the Islanders to really jump Rempe, and he never got a thing.
Nothing.
That's just the way it is, you know.
If Rempe would have threw the hit that Tom Wilson threw the other night, he'd be out for the rest of the season again.
Matty, quick break. I want to see that hat. Put that hat up front.
Oh, yes.
Where'd you get
All right,
that?
so real quick, guys, we got an original 6 hat.
Original 6.
Yeah, slipped up there. Freudian mind. We got original 6 hat. Ice Bag Hockey Cards on TikTok. His name is Doug. He's going to get the whole panel of hats. Great follow. If you're on TikTok, give him a follow. Ice Bag Hockey Cards. He hooked me up and hooked these guys up. And we'll have some shirts, too, if Ricky can get on it. And Paulie can get on it, you know.
Rick, we need some damn shirts. Everybody needs to be wearing Instigators.
Anybody wants a shirt from the show, $20 ship. Send them in the paper. We'll put up my Venmo in a little while. I'll have shirts out to you within a week. Not the panel, of course. The panel's free. And, Beth, I need your size.
Ah, yes.
All right. As we slowly digress. No, I love the hat, so I wanted to bring that in. Hey, we're gonna move on next subject. We got a lot to do, and we're doing all right on time. Guys, let's talk a little bit about the Olympics.
The lights went out again. By the way, did you hear that one? You didn't hear that one, right? The preliminary curling lights went out on them.
Wait. Can you say that a little more Canadian curling? A little more Canadian on it.
It's like the American way of going bowling, you know, where you make an excuse to go drinking.
Hey,
That's what
I like
Yeah.
curling.
No, it's
I
curling.
need somebody to explain the whole rules to curling. I love that freaking thing, man. I actually want to do it. I want to do
Come
it.
to
I think-
Nashville. We just opened up 3 places.
Did they?
Yeah, it's a big
That's
thing down here
cool,
now.
Man. I would love to learn how to play. I would
It's
love.
basically bocce
cool
ball
thing.
on ice. The Canadians took bocce ball; it was frozen, and they
It
just
was
made this.
another, listen, it's just an excuse to have a drinking party. That's all it is.
I don't know who had the prop bet of us talking about curling on the show, but someone made a lot of money.
Hey, it's all about the ice, man.
All right, hey, listen. Let me get back to it. Let me
I'm
reel
just
myself
trying
in
to
for a minute.
I'm trying to give you a little head start on the Olympics, how well it's going over there in Italy. How those Italians are doing such a great job
Oh,
with the
God.
facility.
Get Ricky started.
Well, think about it. They can't get the rink size right, can't get the lights on. They're still screwing around with the rink. You know that, right?
Do you see the scoreboard? It's the size of a matchbook.
Oh, I know.
The scoreboard in the old
long ago
Chicago
did I do a
Stadium was
TikTok
more
on it?
modern than this one.
I did a TikTok on that year, almost
Paulie, take a big swig, Paulie. I want to see you look. Paulie's starting to look a little Chinese right now.
Hey,
gets funny when he gets like this.
This is my third glass, man.
Oh, God.
Paulie, listen. Hey,
We might have to end the show early, everybody.
Are you going to work tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're going to be doing nothing tomorrow.
Woo! BMWs tomorrow, $50. Let me get one. All right, so listen, a little Nashville news, guys.
On his door, it says, "Don't bother me today."
Sure fly, don't bother me.
Out. Oh,
I don't know if everybody saw that, Barry Trotz is stepping down here in Nashville, and they had a press conference. And now I'm going to tell you something about, it's a very weird city here, guys. Like you guys in New York, I feel sorry for you. We haven't seen Chris Drury in 5 years. We don't even know if he exists. He's the first Ranger general manager that literally has not, even Sather made an occasional TV appearance. Chris Drury's just missing in action. And I've said this multiple times, that the Nashville audience gets a once-a-week radio show with their GM, which he decided a couple weeks ago. I told you guys that he had talked to the players, and they don't want to be traded, and O'Reilly's not going, and this one decided to stay. So Barry Trotz axes himself this week and announces he's retiring until the minute they can find a successor. Some of the names being kicked around are some people in the Rangers front office, believe it or not. Shanahan, a couple of Jamie Langenberner. But here's something very interesting today. Nashville has made it known that Ryan O'Reilly is back on the trading block.
Wow.
They are looking to unload Juicy Saros. All of a sudden, so I started putting 2 and 2 together. I'm wondering if the mass media effect cost Barry Trotz his job. And what I mean by that, he is in the public eye so much and questioned so much on these radio stations between periods. Kotze, as a former player, is it good or bad to have your GM putting those kind of messages out to fans saying, hey, we're not going to trade this guy? Even though the guy, let's just say, Nashville a couple of weeks ago was like 20 points out of a playoff spot. Now they're 5. But when they were struggling and he's saying, guys don't want to be traded, so I'm not going to trade him. Is that a bad sign for the team, saying like giving a bad message?
Well, I don't like. This is going to be part of my thing when we get to the number 10 story there in a little while. I don't like when any management or coaches release any info publicly. I don't like that at all. I think you keep all your stuff in house. But getting to you, Ricky, in Tennessee, like what else do you have there besides hillbilly rock and hockey? Yeah. That's why he's on the air. Think about it. What other pro sports team do you have there?
Oh, I get it, buddy. We got
that's
the Titans.
Why he's on the air. He's got to hype something for that city. You know what I mean? And
it's just a very awkward thing. I like Barry.
Yeah, I know, but they have a viable hockey organization there. They've come close a couple times to stirring the pot, Stanley Cup wise, in the past. That's why he was on there. He's got to keep the team's popularity up in the city. But I do not like the public saying of anything about my team. If I want to trade any one of you 4 guys, I've done this with you before. I'll sit you down. If you have a no trade card, what can we do? Is there something we could do to help you decide where you want to go, if you want to go? But I'm not going to sit there and go to the press. Well, he doesn't want to get traded. This guy doesn't want to get traded. he's got a no trade, and just spill the beans on everybody. Because when you do that, you lessen the take of what you can get in. Because every team in the league now goes, we can pluck this guy for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, listen. I think it's basically like being in a relationship. When you're a general manager of a team, you're a relationship with all the players. When you're in a relationship in your personal life, you don't put it on blast that you're having problems, because once you put it on blast that you're having problems, everyone's going to kind of look at you differently and go, oh, they do this and this. You keep that stuff in-house. And so if there's a player that's disgruntled or there's a player that you do want to move, they're all men. I mean, I know some of these kids come into the league at 18, but all these players, chances are if you're trading a player, they're in their mid-20s or 30s, you treat it like a man. You have an adult conversation, and you say, hey, listen, we're thinking of moving you. What can we do to help make it help? You look at Chris Drury. He made it very easy for Carson Soucy, who just had a daughter. He moved him 10 miles from Madison Square Garden to UBS Arena. So sometimes it works, sometimes it can't. It's the nature of the business, but you don't put it on blast saying, hey, we're going to trade this guy, or, oh, we're going to keep this guy. Nobody gives their hand in poker. You gotta sit there and wait,
Yeah, I think too much public knowledge for, it's just a complete extreme opposite of New York. I mean, even today, there's no sign of Drury. There's no sign of him coming out and saying, hey, this is our first move. I'm planning on the rebuild. We're going to do this, this, and this.
Retool. He said retool.
He can retool a dildo up his ass. As far as I'm concerned, he is not the guy to run this rebuild, retool, or anything else. Today proved the fact. And we can get into this now, or we could wait. But I have a very strong opinion about this trade.
Yeah, I think we all do. We all do.
So around the horn we go. Ding, ding, ding. I was going to hit some stuff, but forget it. Kotze, I want to start with you. We're going to start with you. The Panarin deal today.
I'd rather go last because I heard the two chicken hens there going back and forth on Kotze's taco shop.
Oh, here we go. All right.
I gotta listen to these two here. No, well, because you can't get everything on there. They don't tell you everything on that thing. So I want to hear from them first.
I'm gonna open
this Kotze's taco shop.
Here we go. I'm gonna open it up. All right, because
I want a t-shirt.
Let me go last, okay?
Oh, I want one of those too, Rick. By the way. All right. So Kotze's gonna go last. I'm gonna start this thing off because I have some questions.
Well, you better start it off because you might have another drink in about 5 minutes.
I mean, I'm empty, bro. This is not good. Look, this is empty.
I'd never seen Paulie start to look Asian before.
Let one of these guys go, then you can pour another one.
No, I got to go, and then I'm going to pour one. Here we go. So, obviously, it comes out today. Everyone's talking. It's all over the place. We got to do this before the Olympic break. I felt like, first of all, this was very rushed, and I'm not sure why, because the comeback here, I don't know that we got what we should have got for Panarin. But here's my question, guys, and I'm just going to throw it out there. Guys, we talked about it last week. Panarin's top 5 in over 5 years in scoring, okay, behind the biggest names in the game right now. Behind McKinnon, behind McDavid, behind Kucherov. He's number 5, man, in the last 5 years. Points production. He goes to LA and signs a 2-year extension. Why not fucking sign him for 2 years? I don't get this move. Now, I thought he was like, wait, let me finish. I thought he was like, hey, I want a 4-year deal. I want to be brought into 34, 38, whatever it is, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. And I want $11 million a year or $12 million a year for 4 years. And I understood the mindset of the general manager to say, hey, that's not going to happen. He signed a 2-year fucking deal for $22 million. He's top 5. If you're retooling, this makes no sense to me. It's a 2-year deal. It's not a 5-year.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know why it's a 2-year deal? Do you want to know why it's a 2-year deal, Paulie?
To me, is not a top contender to win the Stanley Cup either.
No, but you know what he did? You know what he did? I'm going to tell you what he did. He took his big $20 million Russian penis and stuck it right up Chris Drury's ass. And you want to know why? He forced Barclay Goodrow out of New York. He forced Jacob Trouba out of New York. He forced Chris Strider out of New York. And you know what? He was the player for one time. The first time Chris Drury had to sit back like a little bitch, be made to look like a fool, and he's gone. And you want to know why? Because the idiot quit on his team the day he wrote that letter. You know what weakness is, Paulie? Weakness is when you go to the public and say, I'm not doing a good job and the players aren't playing good, so we're going to blow this up for the second time in 8 years. Don't blame me. I'm going to retool this on the fly. You know what you told your players? You told your players we quit. You called your players a bunch of losers in the media. You called a superstar. In the beginning of the season, you had to make it gosh darn public knowledge that he didn't want to give you a hometown deal. You didn't negotiate more than 1 week. It was preseason, and he blew the guy up in the newspaper and made him into a fucking villain. So you know what Panarin did? He righted it, and I'm glad he's gone because he deserves better than Chris Drury and James Dolan. Drury did everything in his power to make Panarin a heel in this. This was evil Vince McMahon trying to make Stone Cold Steve Austin the bad guy. Yeah. He had no intention of re-signing him. He had no intention of negotiating with the guy, and the guy had all the power. And he took it and he stuck it right up Chris's ass, and I'm damn glad he did it. Because you know what? You look at Trouba yesterday. I'm so happy. There's no locker room drama here. This is fun again to play. You got Kreider's got 20 up on the board, right? Barclay Goodrow's leading the Sharks into the promised land right now, into the playoffs. What do we got? We got a general manager writing another I quit letter like a little bitch. He tapped out like this again. I can't do my job, but it's the players' faults. I can fix it. Let Uncle Chris fix it. Get us some pizza. Bring it in. Give the players 50% off. Bring the pizza in, and we're going to ship everybody out because they quit on us, and I'm going to make it better. He wants to look like this guy's got some martyr effect, bro. He wants to be the martyr and everything. He ain't taking credit for anything. All I have to say is Pavel Buchnevich. Pavel Buchnevich. 3/4 of a point per game since he's been traded in over 258 games. 3/4 of a point guy for Sammy Blah. Sammy the Bull Blah, who couldn't even play in this organization. Why was that trade made? Why was Kreider traded for cap space? What are we doing with the cap space? We didn't spend it on Panarin. I'm done.
Go ahead. Ding. Matty, you're up.
Oh, boy. I don't know how I top that. But according to Frank Saravelli, the Panarin wanted around $50 million. And so I tend to agree. Ricky might be right on this, that he really wanted to screw Chris Drury, Panarin, because everybody that made a report was wrong. They said Florida was his top option or Tampa. Panarin wanted between 40 and 50 million. He only got 22. Frank Saravelli said there was multiple teams that were about to offer him 4 for 11.75, which comes out to 47 million, which is right around $50 million. And they all got it wrong. He went to LA, which is a borderline playoff team. They're mid, and their top scorer has 45 points. Panarin, who hasn't played the last 4 or 5 games, he has 57, so he's already the leading scorer on that team. And Kopitar's retiring. They got a young, kind of weird core, but they've been bounced out of the first round 4 straight years by Edmonton. So is it for money? Is it to make Chris Drury look foolish? Is it to have the nice weather in LA? Who knows what's going through Artemi Panarin's head? But one thing's for sure, if you are going to retool, and you could have had him for a 2-year deal, I could have honestly been okay with him signing a 2-year, $25 million deal, like 12.5 per. I could have seen him even signing 13 or 14 million per. But for 2 years, I would have been okay with that. Hey, this isn't our year. Let's see if we can get back next year, right? Everything about this is bad. We got a decent prospect in return, Green Tree. Listen,
he's not a decent prospect. He's a minus.
I'm going to explain.
He doesn't even have NHL skating average. Forget it.
I'm going to explain, Ricky. He had a great year in the OHL last year. He had 119 points. He broke his wrist, and he's having now a worse year this year than his previous 2 years in the OHL. And Kotze, the OHL is very inflated numbers. So, if somebody's putting up a lot of points, not that it means nothing, but the OHL has a lot more scoring than the AHL and obviously the NHL. So maybe this kid turns to something. You get a 3rd round pick, maybe it's a 2nd round pick, and then a conditional 4th round pick if they make 2 rounds. So all in all, it's an awful return. The Rangers are stacking up on 3rd round picks, but too bad we can't draft. So we'll see. And one more thing to close it out. Green Tree is a winger. We have enough wingers. We need center depth. So, big kid, sure, great, wonderful. We'll
Can't
see.
fight.
Hopefully he pans out. But there's going to be a lot of pressure on this kid from the get-go because there's no way he's even half the player Panarin is. If he's a half a point per game player, it's not a good trade. So, I mean, Chris Drury's an awful GM. I've said it all before. Kotze, take it away.
You guys said a lot of things I wanted. My big thing was all the speculation by the so-called experts. They're all full of shit. Okay, every one of them. Your Frank Cervellis. I watch all these guys too, Matty. I just don't speak it to you. I see all their bullshit coming from Toronto and all that crap, and the guys down here that think they know everything. It was all bullshit. The speculation about how many years what he wanted and how much Washington was going to give him $50 million and all this. Florida was going to give him this. Bottom line is, it goes back to what I said a little earlier. You don't publicly tell people what you're doing when you're running a business. You just don't do that. You did it with Trouba. You did it with Kreider. You did it with Goodrow. And you did it with Panarin. So what do you think you're going to get in the end, guys? Like, who's kidding who here? Panarin had all the cards. What the fuck did you guys think we were going to get for him? A 1st-round pick in the top 5?
Well, who's a better player, Artemi Panarin or Brock Nelson?
I'm just trying to tell you, it didn't matter. Different story.
I'm just saying.
It's still a different circumstance. Nobody fucking said Brock Nelson was up for trade at the beginning of the year.
I agree.
Brock Nelson wanted a new contract. This was all started at the beginning of the year about Panarin refusing to sign another deal unless he got blah, blah, blah. And then the letter came out. So what did you really think you were going to get for this guy? Why, you want him back for another 2 years? Another failed superstar that didn't bring a cup to us? Really? At 34 and 35?
You think you're closer to a cup with Panarin or with Green?
It's a list of things. I can go through it, Matty. I'll teach you a few lessons. Pavel Bury, how did he do? How did Eric Lindros do when he came here? You want me to keep going? I can keep going. Rick Nash. How'd they all do?
Only Messier.
They were all great players, but they failed to bring the cup, which they were asked to do. Whether it was legit or not, they were asked to. Now, Panarin, I'm hearing things on the side too, like Ricky said. I'm hearing a little thing that he don't give a fuck about the playoffs because he knows they're not going to make the playoffs in LA because he doesn't like playoff hockey. These are the things I'm hearing from players around the league. That's why he signed a 2-year deal to kind of stick it to the Rangers, knowing quite well that team's not going anywhere, that he doesn't have to really perform. But it's all bullshit in the end. Panarin's at fault too, guys. For if he threw out all that crap at the beginning about I need $15 million, I need Kiprusoff money. Remember we were talking about that? He mentioned that shit early in the year. He did. You can't deny it. In the end, Panarin held all the cards. Chris Drury's hands were tied because of what Chris Drury did by publicizing it all. And not sitting around man to man in a room, have a beer, give him a bottle of vodka, let's talk this out. And when that door closes, it stays in here. That's the reason why you got nothing for Panarin. Okay? He held all the cards, guys. He didn't have to fucking go there. He could have sat out the rest of the year collecting his paychecks. And you know what? He would have been a free agent at the end of the year. Then what would we be saying? For nothing. There's a lot of blame to go around all over the place. But it starts with you publicly telling the world about players that you want to replace, and I don't agree with that. And that's on Drury's shoulders. Period. End of story. That's on his shoulders.
Listen, I agree with that 110%, and maybe that's why. Okay, we heard so many conflicting stories. Here it is. We're all sitting here as a panel trying to now give a good analysis on what the Rangers are going to do and what's going to happen with Panarin when we're thinking these numbers are
it's all bullshit. The numbers are all bullshit, bro.
Exactly. Because when you see he gets traded for what he got traded for and he immediately signs a 2-year deal worth $22 million, you got to scratch your head and say, well, fuck, you should have signed him for $22 million for 2 years. I would have in a minute. I mean, his numbers are there. You could work around that. So I get what you're saying. And maybe Panarin was just like, hey, like Ricky said, great points, Rick, by the way. I think Panarin was like, you know what? Shoot the moon. Have a nice day. I'm done with this. I'll go somewhere else.
It's nice to be
quick contract and do what I got to do.
Panarin was king of this deal, guys. He did
sure
not do a damn thing.
Sure.
You know what we forgot too? You know who else Drury effed over? Panarin's best friend, Ryan Reeves. I forgot about that one till just now. But like Kotze's saying, the guy had all the power in the world. But I am, as a former athlete, Kotze's an athlete. Paulie, let me ask you a question. You sell high-end luxury cars, right? Would you ever put a letter out from BMW saying, hey, we know our product's inferior and we don't think we can compete with Chevy, so we're going to put BMWs on the market for half price? It would never happen.
Well, listen, yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
He's trying to buy and sell at the same time, Paulie.
Yeah, the letters, I don't understand the letter. I don't feel as though, here's how I feel about the letters. The letters are ridiculous because, like you said, you're admitting at the end of the day, stuff like that needs to stay silent. Shut up with the letters, shut up with your mouth, and fucking produce a product. Instead of writing a letter, make fucking moves, make deals, make smart decisions. Put a product out there. You don't need to write a letter. Just do your job. You're not doing your job. I don't need a fucking letter. Nobody needs a narrative here. What I need is results. What I need is a winning product. What I need is to know that the management on this cares. You look at the owner of the Florida Panthers. I mean, come on. It destroys me to understand I'm in a non-hockey city, and this team continues to put up points, continues to make good deals, continues to do good things. You got an original 6 franchise, 100 fucking years, and nobody cares. You keep bringing in these subpar players. You keep bringing in a subpar product. It's awful. And at the end of the day, I agree with you. The letter's ridiculous. As a fan, I don't need a letter. What I want is results.
But you're the hardcore fan, Paul. That letter's for the corporations that buy the big blocks of tickets.
Sure.
That's what that letter's for.
Yeah, but Kotze, doesn't that still make them look bad to them?
Listen, and you want to compare New York City to Florida? Please, spare me the bullshit. Okay? You think Florida charges the same prices for tickets to go to a game as a Ranger?
No, that's
why the letter is there, Paulie, for the corporations to feel good about paying their 20-seat block every game. That's what the letter was for. It's not for
you guys.
But how do we fix this
around here? You got me drinking around here.
It's not for us. It's not for the guys.
But how do we fix this, Kotze? How does this organization get back on track? Now, here's my point, right? We still have Vinny Trocheck, who now he doesn't have the massive no trade. You have Sam Carrick, who's going to be a wanted commodity going into the playoffs. I don't want to hear it. The guy's a fucking warrior.
I don't get rid of Sam Carrick to start with. He's staying as my fourth line center if I'm running this team.
Well, he's a free agent. You either sign him or you get rid of him, one or the other.
No, he's got another year, Rick.
Ricky, you're going to get him for less than $2 million a year.
He's got.
You're going to tell me he's not worth $2 million a year?
He's only making $1 million a year, and he's got another season after this.
You might have to give him a little bump because he was the only guy that stuck up for anybody this year.
Yeah.
Noah Lob is going to be your second center, and I hate to say it, but Zabinajad's going to be here, guys. He's not going anywhere.
Zabinajad's your best player. He's been your best player.
So you got Zabinajad, you got Lob at center, so you got to find
and Miller.
He's $1 million even next season.
You know what? You got to find a third center somewhere.
Well, Laba's done. Laba's hurt again. His shoulder's hurt again. He's done.
I got to tell you. And yet he just, you know what he needs, Ricky? He needs to rest and relax. It's his first year out of college. He needs to get his body in shape and then understand he's going to get more minutes next year so he can play to his performance.
I hope the second ball drops before.
And I'll be honest with you.
Second of all, on defense, who do you keep on defense, guys?
You have five. Well, you have 5 right-handed defensemen now. So let's go down the list. We got Adam Fox. You got Will Borgen.
You're not gonna get rid of Adam Fox, okay? So
you're not getting rid of Will Borgen probably either, who just signed a 5-year deal.
I would trade Borgen if the opportunity would come up.
You got Schneider. You got Schneider. You got Morrow.
I would trade him.
And then you got Vincent Iorio, who you just picked up from San Jose. And the kid's got a little ability. I do like Iorio's game. I think Schneider goes. I think Schneider goes for sure.
I think Borgen would be available if I was GM.
I think Schneider has a lot of value.
Did anybody catch Elliot Freeman's little blurb about it's very early, but Adam Fox's name was mentioned this weekend as far as the New York Rangers? They were listening to phone calls on Adam Fox.
Does he have a huge no trade? Or does he have a limited team?
Limited.
He's still got 5 more years on a long deal, and he's been nothing but injury prone the last.
I would get rid of him tomorrow.
I would
get rid of him tomorrow.
I'm on that right there. I would sell Adam Fox. I would sell him now while you can get
sell him high.
You can get the barn for him, man. I would.
There's nothing left. If you're not signing Panarin, why do you need Fox?
You don't. If you're retooling. Which we all know is this fucking team needs a complete rebuild.
Listen,
bullshit.
Do you want to know how serious I am? I would be okay if they went to Igor tomorrow and said, "Get the fuck out." Who would you go to and trade Igor?
Me too. I would too.
Edmonton would give up their left nut for him.
You don't need him.
Yes,
you're retooling. We're 10 years away from being a contender right now.
Can you sell him to Edmonton, and what would you get in return?
Probably 3 first-round picks. Probably.
They can't make it work with the cap.
Yeah.
Well, they already blew their load with Jari. That's the problem. They already blew their load.
But I'm just saying, even if over the summer you went to Igor and said,
"You got to be smarter. You got to be smarter than what they've done over the last decade or so."
You have to be.
You can't just throw money after money after money after money all the time. You got to get players that actually give a shit about playing in New York, that actually will go through the wall for you. Okay. Guys that aren't afraid. I want players that aren't afraid.
You need a boom.
Plain and simple. I don't care if you get 70 points a game. I mean, a year. If you're afraid to play in the playoffs, I don't want you. I don't want you on my team.
I'll tell you.
Guys, there's no pipeline either. There's no pipeline. I watch Hartford every night.
The next step you have to
Hartford's in second to last.
You have to clear the cap space somehow, some way, so that you have money to spend.
But I believe they're going into the summer as the leading team with the most cap space right now.
Well, then let's see what happens.
I'll be
Who's there to sign?
I want to go back to the Fox thing, Ricky, because you make a good point. If they're retooling, I think Fox's value is good right now. Before it starts to diminish anymore, it would be, and it's especially if it's a limited trade clause, so you can work with some teams. This would be the time. I think this is the time that you move Adam Fox. I think you move Adam Fox this year because he's at his highest value, right? Igor, I don't think would be movable. I mean, I'd love to see it happen because honestly, I think this team needs to start fresh. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a few years, but I would rather give up a few years to have a foundation that actually makes sense.
Well, Well, let's look at it. Let's look
when
at
you talk
Buffalo.
about Trocheck, you can see that he's given up. I've watched him play the last couple of games. He's given up. He's got no heart left. And you know what? That was a guy when we originally got him was nothing but fucking heart. And when he's feels good, he's nothing but heart. And he's a heart and soul type of guy. And you can see he's got no heart left in this thing, man.
Guys, we're running out of lineup with Johnny Brzezinski as a regular hockey player.
Yeah,
they're
don't
talking about they
understand that at
can't
all.
wait for the return of Connor Sheary. Just think about that.
Yeah, I don't.
They're making.
understand.
Why are we getting Connor Sheary updates and we haven't heard a fucking word about Adam Edstrom in 3 months?
Where's Bedard?
Where's Berard? Yeah.
He got sent down again.
And we're playing Brzezinski. I don't get this.
Taylor
We're playing
Radish.
Radish. I don't get this. I don't get this.
I'm going to say one thing real quick. The pipeline in this organization has been stripped down bare bones. I watch Hartford on a regular basis, right? Garrard is a terrible goaltender. He'll be released at the end of the year. We do not have a backup goaltender in the pipeline.
Yeah.
There's no one. Our buddy Quick is done. Forget it. I love the guy. God bless him. His career's over. If we had a guy in the minors right now, I'd honestly ask him to retire. Quick sucks. Garrard sucks. We got Tong down there who is coming out of some small college and it's his first year as a pro and he's getting lit up on a nightly basis. They're losing by 6 or 7 goals a night. And I'm not exaggerating that.
It's not just the goaltending down there.
No. I'm getting to that.
Okay.
We don't have a defensive prospect in the minors whatsoever. There's not one guy in that pipeline that if somebody gets hurt that we could say we're calling him up. Okay. Scanlon. Okay. What is he? He's a 7 defenseman in the NHL at best. That's our defensive prospects. The kid we got for Kreider sucks. Okay. He's a tough kid. I'll tell you what. He dropped his gloves a couple times. He's a real tough kid. He's a tough New York kid. He's a piece of shit defenseman. And our forwards down there are a bunch of aged AHL veterans, and anybody other than that is terrible. Sikora is no longer any hope for that kid. He's terrible. They got nothing. The cupboard is stripped bare. So you know what you got to do when that happens? You have to sell your assets.
Yes.
You don't need Fox. As much as it hurts me, we don't need Igor. We don't need Vinny. Vinny needs to go to Minnesota for Richie and the goaltender, Watson-Blatt, or whatever the kid's name is. Bring the goalie in. He's 22. Even if he doesn't start for 5 years, he rides 30 games a year behind Igor. Let's hope he wins 20 of them. Okay? And I said this to you, Maddie. Get 5 first-round picks because with our draft history, maybe one of them makes the NHL.
Well, you thought Panarin was going to get you a first-round pick, and look at that. And one guy you didn't mention in Hartford, which I'm surprised, Ricky, it's EJ Emery, who was
he's not in Hartford.
I'm just saying he's horrible. You know, who was our first-round pick in 2024 when our wonderful GM refused to give up a first-round pick. You know, because
you know what they called him on NHL Network the other day?
Pick in the spear. That's what we wanted in 2024. And
you know what they called Emery?
We didn't want to give up Othman, who has 1 career goal for Gensel. We didn't want to give up our first-round pick in Kako for Vetrano and Henrique. So we could have Henrique, Vetrano, and Gensel in 2024 instead of Wenberg, Roslovic, and wonderful Chad Ruedel, who we gave up a 4th-round pick that didn't play. Which is,
but wait, do you know what they called Emery?
I'm done with the show.
You know what they called Emery on NHL Network the other day? They called Emery a minus NHL prospect offensively and an average NHL defenseman at his best. That was our first-round pick.
I might have a buzz.
Here's the problem, Ricky. Okay, you make a lot of sense. Everybody's making like good points about what should be done. But you keep forgetting about the most important thing, the business side of it. You get rid of Adam Fox, the fans will go absolutely apeshit. Like it or not, that's
Fuck
what
them.
I know that, Ricky.
They let Kreider and Panarin go. Those are fan favorites.
Finish here for a second. You see how dead the garden is right now? You tried doing that for 2 years there in Madison Square and see how many people start
Let's
showing
do
up.
it. Make them suffer. Hurt the pocket.
They're going to be
That's
minus
the problem Dylan needs to face.
You're not going to rebuild with a bunch of Nobody's, because if you do, the people are going to stop coming to the games.
And that's
when that happens, Dole is not going to be real fucking happy about
it.
Good.
Here's your top free agents for next year.
Wait, hold on. Fuck then.
Here's your top free agents left with all that cap space, right? Connor McDavid's no longer a free agent. He's not. He's off. Panarin, he ain't coming back. Did Jack Eichel resign or no?
Yes.
So he's off the books. Then we get to Adrian Kempe. He's retiring. And then we get to Justin Tuck and Alex Ovechkin. That's it. There's your top free agents available. And Jordan Emberley from the Kraken is going to be available.
Oh, let me stop.
We don't need a Jordan Emberley.
That's what I'm saying, Conti. That's all that's out there. There's nothing out there to sign.
So what do you got to do, Ricky? You got to
trade Fox. Get me 2 NHL players and a fucking first-round pick for him.
You got to get the right people drafting the right kids that can play in the NHL.
I agree with you.
That's the biggest problem this team's had for decades now.
We just got a prospect, Conti.
Up to the NHL, plain and simple.
Conti.
Bottom line.
We just got another prospect today whose NHL scouting report called him a minus NHL skater. Who's going to develop him? Jed fucking Ortmeyer? Jed Ortmeyer again. Here we go. Player development specialist.
Ricky, you can sit there and argue all you want about that. The bottom line was he was drafted in the first round by somebody.
26th. It might have well been a second-round pick. But he's not a first-round talent.
Okay, but so how many guys? Well,
you specimen was a first-round pick too.
So
he
what?
Still hasn't played in the fucking
how many
NHL.
Teams have screwed up then. So you're basically saying that LA screwed up on him, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, fine. I'm good with that.
But why are we taking their trash?
I'm good with that. But the bottom line is again, you guys, I think, all thought you were going to get a lot more for anti-Panarin. Okay, y'all did, and I said to you,
no, I didn't.
You weren't going to get shit for him. The guy's 34 years old, going on 35.
Well, my problem with that trade is the 2-year fucking extension. My problem isn't the return.
I got no problem with that. It doesn't bother me.
My problem isn't the return. We all knew. I mean, Maddie's done 45,000 TikToks on the fact that Panarin had all the cards. He would play it however he wanted, and if he wanted, he could say, I'm taking nothing. I'm going to hit free agency July 1st, and there was nothing we could do.
Yeah.
My problem is he signed a 2-year fucking deal. You couldn't make that deal with his agent?
Let me ask you a question, Paulie. Why the fuck did Panarin decide to start playing halfway through the season this year? He sucked at the beginning. He sucked big time. Go look at the stats in the first 25 games.
That's the guy's top 5 in the last 5 years. He broke more records for the New York Rangers than anybody else.
He's still going to bring one of these right here.
The numbers don't lie.
Who cares?
Retooling.
Marcel Dion never won a Stanley Cup either.
The guy's top 5 in the league. Behind guys like Draisaitl, McDavid,
so you're okay with a guy,
Kucherov. Are you kidding me?
So you're okay with a guy
don't lie.
You're okay with a guy that didn't want to play the first half of the season.
$22 million.
You're okay with the guy that didn't want to
now for that deal. That's the worst fucking deal in NHL history. It's ridiculous. You're retooling. He signed a 2-year deal.
Another drink.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
All right.
You're
so
okay with the guy that doesn't want to play the first half of the season. You're okay with that. You're okay with that.
We did this last week.
Let me know when the next guy that works for you decides to not work the first half of the season.
Okay, well, if he's the best producer I have has been.
Sure you will.
All right. So real quick, timeout. Okay. That's great. Everybody loved your rant on TikTok, guys. I'm just getting all the comments up there. So listen, we got to understand that this could get ugly really quick.
Woo!
And the pipeline isn't good. So let's just look at a couple teams if you don't believe me, because some people are saying 2 to 4 or 3 to 5 years and we'll be back. Buffalo's gone 14 years, nothing. Detroit, 9 years, didn't make the playoffs. Ottawa just snapped a 9-year drought last season, and now they missed the playoff. Okay? There are long stretches of teams not making the playoffs. Close to a decade stretches for some of these teams. Detroit made the playoffs 20 some odd consecutive years. Now they're coming up on 10 years, and they're dropping in the standings, very much so, in the Atlantic. The point is, this needs to be stripped to the studs. It does. There is no building block to this team. Mika Zibanejad, your best player, who's had a fantastic year, just under a point per game. Okay, he's going to be 33. JT Miller, he's not the 100-point guy we thought he was from Vancouver. He's going to be 33. Adam Fox can't stay on the ice. Gavrikov, we signed. Him and Fox are perfect together, but yet they can't play, and Gavrikov looks horrible when he's paired with Schneider. Shesterkin, he's now a little injury prone, got hurt 2 different times this year on an 8-year deal. He's 30. So we're talking many 30-year-olds locked up. Vinny Trocheck is same thing. It's got to get stripped to the studs. And they're already probably going to finish second to last. The only team that I think they'll be better than this year is Vancouver. The only other, everybody else, I think Winnipeg is going to be better than them. I think Calgary is going to be better than them. It's going to get really, really ugly. You need to strip it to the studs.
Yeah.
And you have to understand you're going to suck for 3 to 5 years. Look at Chicago. A first overall, second overall, third overall. Look at San Jose. Second, first, second overall. And we can't screw up number 1 and number 2 overall if we get that. We had that last time, and we screwed up. We had the perfect rebuild last time. We really did. Adam Fox fell into our lap. We signed Artemi Panarin. You had number 2. You had number 1 overall. You had the perfect rebuild, and you still screwed it up.
Yep.
And there's no building blocks to this team. So, guys, I don't know what else to say. It's going to get real ugly. The Rangers might not make the playoffs till 2030. I'll be honest with you.
You're saying everything we've all said at one time during the year. I was the one that brought up all the guys in the 30s at the beginning of the year that had these long-term contracts.
Yep.
You can't win with that.
Forget about Adam Fox. He has a 0 movement clause in his contract. Absolutely no move.
Really?
0.
He grew up a Ranger fan. He doesn't want to leave the Rangers.
Who gives a fuck? He's a Ranger fan. He sucks.
He's not done.
He sucks. He's done. He can't take a hit. He's done. To me, you want to know something? Fuck Igor, too. He can't stay healthy. He sucks, too, because he ain't winning hockey games for me.
Oh, whoa. Henrik's better now, huh?
I don't give a shit who's better. My fucking mother's better because you know what? She's healthier than Igor and Fox put together.
Woo!
I'm sick of it. Listen to me. And maybe except this guy right here above me. Maybe this guy above me cares more about this fucking team than me because he played on it. But I love this fucking team with my whole heart. This team may have kept me alive in some instances because I'm a sick motherfucker and I didn't give a shit about stuff. And there was nights where my friends went out and got the fucking brawls or got fucking robbed places and I stayed home to watch Ranger games. This team means everything to me. I care more about this fucking team than the players do. And you want to know something? I'm done. It took me to be 55 years old to realize something.
It's hard to watch. It's very hard to watch.
Mickey Mantle don't pay my rent, and Chris Drury don't give me free pizza. This team is done. Okay? James Dolan don't care about anything about me except for the last 4 numbers of my social and my credit card number. That's all he cares about.
I got to be honest with you, Rick. I think we talked about this. Maybe you and I talked about this. I talked about this with a couple of my friends. This is probably the only year. Well, this is one of the only years I can remember. This is the least amount of Ranger hockey that I've watched because I just can't take it anymore.
Yeah, you said that a couple
times. I'm a third-generation Rangers fan, okay? And I'm at the point where in my heart I'm searching for a new team because it's like a bad relationship and I just can't take it anymore.
It's heroin.
It's abuse. I'm serious. It's like we talked about last week. It's 100-year franchise. You know, I saw one. My dad lived and died, never saw a fucking Stanley Cup, right? He did die very young, but don't get me wrong.
No, but it's the point, bro.
We got one cup in 80-something, 84, 85 years. It's like it's I mean, I love the team because I was drug into loving this team. But at the end of the day, man, I got to tell you, I've raised my hand to the point where like I can't watch the games. I've watched less hockey games now than I've ever watched before. I've definitely watched. I'll turn a Ranger game on. I know Kotze and I were texting each other. I'm like, I got to turn the fucking game off because I can't even watch it anymore. He's like, are you watching this horse shit? And I'm like, I just turned it off. I can't fathom how bad. And it's like, it's everything that happens to this team. It's insane. I actually do, and I'm not superstitious, but I believe in the curse almost because it's like, it's funny. You just made this statement, Matt, that Zibanejad is having the best year. Of course he is because they suck, right? But when we needed him to have this best year of his fucking life, where it would have made a difference, he struggled. Right?
He was great. He was great the COVID year. He had 41 goals in 57 games. That year,
it just seems like
because him and Kreider were locked in a room together.
Line a certain way. It just seems like there's always something against this team to make sure that they're not successful. I don't know what it is, man.
Paulie, the expectations were big this year. I think we all thought that this is their last hurrah.
Yeah.
Okay, with the group that they had. And I'm still going to get on your boy Panarin. I don't give a shit if you get 4 points in one game. I want you to get 1 point every game, which means he doesn't play every night. And he didn't play the first half of the season this year. He was dirt at the beginning of the year.
The whole team was dirt. The whole team was dirt.
But he's your number one guy.
Well, it's a team.
When did he decide to turn it on, Matty? Oh, that's right. When it really became public about we're not going to re-sign him. That's when he turned it on.
The whole season fell apart, and I was on this panel, and Ricky, you fought me on this. When the first 6 games Shesterkin started, he allowed 6 goals, and they were like 2-4, and they lost games where they couldn't score. And I said, playoff races come down to that. Now, they win those games. Psychologically, they think they're a better team. Let's look at the Islanders for a second. The analytics on the Islanders say that Shesterkin and Rittich are playing out of their mind as goaltenders. But now they're at the point where they're starting to believe if a couple of those games early season go the opposite way, Islanders probably aren't in this position because they don't believe in their team. Same thing with the Rangers. If they got off to a better start this season, psychologically, they probably believe in themselves. They stick up for themselves.
No, I agree 100%.
You know, and I think
they lost if you want to blame anything,
and they lost their heart.
If you want to blame anything, you could blame early season injuries. Losing Rempe was a big blow. Losing Edstrom was a big blow. Losing Miller was a big blow. Using Igor in the beginning for a little while was a big blow. They had a lot of injuries early, Matt. They did. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying they also had a lot of injuries.
Remember?
I got to be honest with you.
Miller got hurt too. He was out for a while.
And Kotze's my witness. I will tell you this. The first year Laviolette came in and they were doing so well and everything was working. They were living. They were thriving and surviving on the power play and obviously Igor. And then when Igor couldn't perform, they had Jonathan Quick who was performing. That team, I kept saying, and Kotze's my witness, I said, listen, there's a lot of good things going, but I still feel like they're not contenders. They're more of pretenders than they are contenders. Matty, I agree with you 100%. I've coached hockey. I've been part of hockey my whole life. I've been part of sports, youth sports. Confidence is everything. When teams believe, when players believe, when things are going their way and they're scoring those goals, because I will say at the beginning of the year, I thought the same thing. And Sullivan kept saying, and you can mark the words, he's like, hey, we're doing everything right. We're just not finding the back of the net. And I saw that as well. I was like, fuck, they're not burying the puck. They're not finishing. If they would have, like they did the first year with Laviolette, because everything was going in that year, it was their year. Things were happening. This year, I felt the same way. In the first 15 games, if some of those games would have actually resulted in confidence boosting for guys like Panarin, guys like Zibanejad, that whole system there, I think we'd be talking differently right now. But at the end of the day, it didn't materialize. The team didn't materialize. And at the end, here we are. We're selling assets. We're doing what we can. It's time to retool. But I feel the same exact way because I felt that way the first year with Laviolette. I was like, hey, they're winning games that they're not playing great in. They're just burying it. And they're finding the back of the net. And hockey's a game of bounces and inches. I would say this. At the beginning of the year, I know Ricky was too. Ricky was the biggest fucking guy on the panel to say, hey, the Rangers are, they're getting there. They're driving. They're doing this. They're doing that. JT didn't look bad. When we made the trade the prior year, JT came in and fucking Mika was becoming a point-a-game guy again, right? Many things that happened there. It didn't happen at the beginning of the year. Sullivan comes in. They're not burying the puck, and that was the biggest problem. And it just confidence and everything else went just downhill. And by the time this thing spun out of, what's funny? Kotze all season long has said, they look like they suck, but they're only like 6 points out of a playoff spot. You realize they're only like 10 points. They're only 10 points out of like a wild card right now, and there's still 30 games to be played. That's the crazy part of this thing. There's 28 games, 27 games left? And they're only about 10, 12 points out. That's not insane. It's just they didn't get the bounces this year. They didn't bury the back of the net.
Yeah, but Paulie, they didn't get the bounces with Laviolette, so you canned him. They didn't get the bounces with Gallant, and you canned him too.
Well, I don't know why Gallant got fired because, they made a cup run that year.
Differences of opinion with the general manager.
Here's the other thing that we're forgetting too, okay? And I know you guys know this, but I'm going to remind you. I'll give Panarin credit for one thing that he commanded. When he's on the ice, he commanded the puck. They don't have a puck handler on this team, period. When you look at the real good teams, they got a guy that can handle the puck and keep the puck for a long time.
You got to gain the blue line, yeah.
Second of all, I don't know about you, but they don't look fast to me at all. That Islander game, the Islanders are just like zoom, zoom, zoom.
And the Islanders aren't a fast team either.
But they were faster than the Rangers.
Yeah.
They're not a fast team anymore. They were a quick team under Gallant, but not anymore. So those are two problems right there. When you're slow and you don't have guys that can handle the puck for a good amount of time, that means the other team's got the puck.
Yeah. I mean,
it is what it is, guys, until it isn't. That's the new line.
Yeah.
I guess it's going to be good. We have a game tomorrow, and then we have 3 weeks where we don't have to watch this team. And, boy, I mean, listen, if there's no more trades because Panarin's gone, he's a UFA, Soucy is gone, nobody else you technically have to trade that's a UFA. So if there's no more trades, you're looking at the offseason right now of having 2 first-round picks, a second, but a very late second from Carolina, and 3 third-round picks in the draft. Are you satisfied with that to restock the cupboard? I'm not, because let's talk about my favorite team, Utah. We traded away Patrick Nemeth, okay, and And Utah has our second round pick because we traded away Patrick Nemeth. And Ottawa doesn't have a first round pick this year. And we could be the second or first worst team in the league. So that second round pick is going to end up being 32nd or 33rd overall. Because, again, Ottawa forfeits a pick. And it would have been a high second round pick. So that's basically like a first round pick.
Okay, so we got 2 first rounders, you said, right?
Carolina or not. Or Carolina and Dallas. Whoever has the higher pick will have
Okay,
Carolina.
but you still got 2 in the first round.
Correct.
How many in the second?
We have 1, which is Carolina's.
And you got how many in the third?
3 in third. Islanders,
When
us.
you rack that all up, that's 6. That's what? Six players possible out of what? 140, 150 players?
No, more like top 100. Be top
That's pretty
96.
damn good. That's pretty damn good. Now it's up to them to pick the right goddamn guys.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like you gave up a second round pick that now is basically like a late first round pick because you had to get rid of Patrick Nemeth, another wonderful signing Chris Drury had. You traded Riley Smith, and this is why the Carson Soucy trade got me so upset. Because let's go back. We traded Riley Smith for a second and a fifth for him to be a top line player to play with Kreider and Zibanejad. Did anyone think Riley Smith would be a top line player on the right wing? No. Terrible move. He's a third line player. Then we trade Riley Smith for a third round pick. That was San Jose's third round pick. That would have been 65th overall. Pretty much a second rounder because San Jose was terrible last year. We used that pick to trade for Carson Soucy. Okay. And then we trade Carson Soucy for the Islanders' third round pick, which is going to be about 85th or 90th overall. Asset management. Drury's great at it. So we traded a second, a fifth, and a high third for a third in the 90th. In the 90s, basically.
But Matty, that's all mismanagement, period, when you think about it.
I'm just saying.
I'm not arguing against you, but that's all mismanagement. Okay, you're going to make all these deals, give away this, get this in return, without thinking the fact that, shit, no matter who I bring in, he's not going to take Panarin's job. Oh, no matter who I bring in, he's not going to take this guy's job. He's not going to take that guy's job. He's not going to take that guy's job. So a possible guy that can play second to first line ends up on a third line, does absolute shit, and he's gone in a year.
Yeah, and listen.
That's just mismanagement.
Next year, Pittsburgh has our second round pick. So, again, they're going to – we can't even fully suck because we suck next year. Pittsburgh gets a high second round pick.
Pittsburgh's going to need it because this is their last hurrah this year.
Oh, no. Pittsburgh's got young talent coming up, too, and they have a ton of draft picks.
Their top 5 guys are all 39 or 40 years old.
They can win. They can go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm not arguing that this year, but after this year, the wall comes.
We never thought Pittsburgh would be this good again. I'm not counting them out.
I'm not saying. Listen,
hey,
we've all been wrong this year on our picks.
I agree.
Who's winning the cup this year, boys? Hey,
I've been pretty damn good with Montreal and San Jose.
We got 8 minutes. I want to.
I've been pretty damn good with Montreal and San Jose.
Who's going to win the cup this year, gentlemen? Katsi, we'll start with you. Who's your cup winner?
I have no fucking clue. How's that?
Okay.
I don't see anybody that strong other than Colorado, and yet they've taken a
Colorado's been struggling, yeah.
I think you're going to see Tampa, Colorado, actually. Go ahead.
Well, one thing's for sure, Florida's not in it.
No.
Florida can't even make the playoffs right now.
I told you guys that at the beginning of the year.
Matty, where you at?
I had my preseason pick of Dallas over Tampa, and I don't ever change my pick. So I have to stay with Dallas and Tampa. I feel very good about Tampa winning the East. I don't feel as confident with Dallas winning the West. If I had to change my pick right now, I'd probably lean Tampa because, man, they're a complete team. They got skill. Kucherov's unbelievable right now. He tied Lemieux for a record of the most points scored in like 20 games or something like that. So he's been unbelievable. If I had to pick, Tampa seems like the most complete team because they got gritty, they got snarl, they brawl with everybody.
We don't need a book on it. Who's it going to be?
I still, by the book, I still pick Dallas over Tampa. I'm still going to take Dallas over Tampa. I'm not going to change my mind for preseason.
All right. Where are you at?
3 weeks ago, I said Tampa, and I'm going to just stick with Tampa.
I'm going to say Colorado's winning the Cup this year.
Wow, that's a wild take. I don't think they get out of the second round. I think they lose to either
Colorado
Minnesota or
wins the Cup
Dallas.
this year.
I think the winner of Minnesota and
That's
Dallas wins the
Is
Cup.
it, if the playoffs started today, isn't Edmonton playing Las Vegas?
That'd be fun, series.
That's a crazy first-round series.
Yeah, I hate that. I tell you, I hate that.
Vegas
You know, I hate Chris
Vegas
Drury.
is getting a little bit of a dip too lately.
Well, you know what's crazy is Vegas is in first place, and they'd have the 5th most wins in their division because they have a ton of loser points, a ton of overtime losses.
So here's the last thing we're going to do in the last 4 minutes. Here's what we're going to ask you guys. We come into the Olympic break. The teams that are hot right now, Tampa's 8-1-1. Anaheim is 8-2-2. Who's not hot? Obviously, the Rangers and Vancouver. It doesn't even matter. They're coming into Olympic break, which is going to be a huge break. It's almost 3 weeks of no hockey, right? For the guys that are just sitting at home. Do you guys feel, and again, guys, I want to do this in 5 minutes.
Spit it out.
Do you guys feel that the Olympic break is going to change the momentum? And do you see anybody else that maybe possibly comes out of this that's not hot? And if someone that is hot gets cold? Kotze, we'll start with you.
The only thing I worry about the Olympics, it's probably not even going to be a good answer, is guys getting hurt. And I'll be honest with you, the younger teams like Anaheim, San Jose, Ricky, these guys are a little bit younger than most of the top teams. They might not be ready to jump back in it after a 3-week delay. They're used to, playing. Where an older veteran team is, we can take the time off and still light it up. So I don't really want to get into specifics there. I don't really want the Olympics anymore. So I'll let you guys handle it.
Ricky, go.
I don't think it's going to affect a team like Tampa. I don't think it's going to affect a veteran team like Colorado. I think if anything, for the guys that aren't playing, a break for 3 weeks is going to reheal some, nagging. Listen, everybody's playing 3 games in 4 nights this year, more often than ever. A lot of nicks and bruises on guys that normally stay healthy. Teams are going to get healthy, and I think it's going to not hurt. I think it's going to help veteran teams like Kotze just said. And I think you're not going to see any slide in Tampa. You're not going to see any slide in Colorado. I think they're going to come out and just hit the ground running. And my team to watch as a serious contender after is Boston. I think Boston's really coming together well.
You know what, Ricky? You're right. All of a sudden, they're pretty damn good.
Go ahead, Matty. We need your lips.
Listen, I think that younger teams are going to be affected by this break. I think it's going to be hard for them to get back into it. I could see teams like San Jose, maybe the Islanders. I think they might slip. I think Pittsburgh will be okay. A lot of fossils on that team. Colorado, Tampa, Florida might get healthy too. A team like Buffalo, I do worry about too because they're really getting together. Buffalo's played fantastic, and I just think that maybe that might slip up. So we'll have to wait and see. The standings are what they are right now. There is some separation going on. Watch out for Columbus too. Columbus is playing some good hockey. They might catch the Islanders. They might catch Pittsburgh. Wouldn't shock me. They're playing some good hockey. They've been a second half team the last couple of years.
All right, bing, bing, bing. I got a minute left. Here's my thought. I think I agree and disagree. I'm going to tell you this. I think it helps the teams that it matters most to. Obviously, guys, you got to remember, no Russian players. So teams like Tampa are going to benefit. Kucherov and Vasilevsky, right? So these guys are going to be sitting, resting, maybe practicing, whatever the case may be is. Plus, they have that veteran, and they've won before. And I agree with you, Matty. I think the teams that are young and up and coming, I think this break hurts them. I think the veteran teams, it helps. So I think Tampa's going to come out, screaming. The best, the crazy part of the Florida situation is the Florida Panthers are not even in it right now, right? And I got to think that after the Olympic break, you think Barkov comes back. If he does, because Kachuk is back, this team has got to make the hottest run in the NHL for a long time. Again, what do we got? 28, 29 games left where they can actually make a difference because they're way out of a playoff spot right now. And when I say way, it's probably 10 points, 12 points at most. So teams like the two Florida teams, I think it benefits. And I agree with you, Matty. The younger teams like the Sharks and the Islanders and teams like that, I think it hurts. I think it stops momentum, and I think because they're so young, it's going to it is going to have an effect because playing night after night every night, there's some kind of adrenaline that flows, and then you change that up. So it's going to be very interesting to see. All right.
Go Leafs!
10 o'clock, 10:01. We're going to kill the broadcast. Everyone, we thank you. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Please make sure you check out Hockey World Order with Ricky Dagoon. Please make sure you're checking out Lips Fucking Chirps. And, of course, the Instigators Hockey Show. We need all of your love. We need all of your likes and subscribes. And we'll be back after the Olympic break. For tonight, we're going to say goodnight. We'll talk to you soon. Peace the